Hey everyone, this is Idrees for Vision Optional, and in this video we're going to learn how to navigate the user panel and chat feature in Zoom Cloud meetings. If you have benefited from this series thus far, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's get to it.
A metallic blue globe is seen spinning in the center of the screen on a dark blue background. The words Vision Optional slide in each side. Below, Braille letters appear one by one, spelling out Vision Optional.
Now before I get started, I want to correct a mistake I made in the previous video I uploaded. In that video, I stated that in order to record to the cloud, you would have to press the key combination Alt-E. Echo. That's actually not the case. In order to record to the cloud, you would have to press the key combination Alt-C, Charlie. That means that you would hold down the Alt key and press the letter C to start recording, and you would press the key combination Alt-C again to stop the recording. Now I'm already in a meeting with myself, and I want to check out the participants list. Now it's important again to come in here, start your own meeting, especially if you're a host, but even if you just plan on being a participant in meetings on this platform, to come around and mess around with the interface and get familiar with the options that are available to you when you're in a live meeting. So in this case, I want to check out the participants list to kind of see what options are available for me. To me. So I'm going to press the key combination Alt-U, and we're going to say in this case that U is for users. I'm going to do that now.
Alt-U, expanded, participants left paren 1 right paren.
Participants 1, so I'm going to tab over to the participants list.
Mute button, to activate press spacebar.
And one of the things that you will find, and just happened, is you never know where you're going to end up when you press Alt-U or when you open the participants list. So it's important to really understand the layout of this feature. So I jumped a little ahead, so I'm going to press the key combination Shift Tab.
K.iCrawley, left paren host, me right paren, computer audio unmuted, no video connected. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Now you heard a lot of information here. You heard my name, that I'm assigned as the host, me, so that's saying that that's you that you're viewing. It told me the status of my audio, which is unmuted, the status of my video, which is not connected. And if you have a camera connected but it's not on, it will say video off. If you have it on, it will say video connected. And we can check this information again by checking our focus by pressing the key combination Insert Tab. And you may get a little more information than what you're looking for, but this is the information you get when you check your focus. So I'm going to press the key combination Insert Tab again.
Alerts enabled. Chat messages captured only. K.iCrawley, left paren host, me right paren, computer audio unmuted, no video connected. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Now I'm going to tab over to check out the other options available to me.
Mute button. To activate, press spacebar.
Now you can mute yourself here, or you can mute yourself more efficiently by just toggling it with the key combination Alt-A. I'm going to tab again.
More options for K.iCrawley button dropdown.
More options. I'm going to hit spacebar here and check out those options.
Space, context menu. To navigate, press up or down arrow. Rename.
Here I can rename myself. This is usually good for people who chose a username or didn't like how their username appeared. Or for example, if you're coming in with an iPad or an iPhone, it says user's iPad has joined the meeting or whatever, and you want your name to be posted, this is where you would go to rename yourself. I'm going to hit the down arrow.
Edit profile picture.
You can edit your profile picture.
Rename.
Now these are the only two options that are available to me because I am the host. Now when there's other participants, there's going to be more options available to you to modify and customize that participant's abilities while they're attending your meeting. And that's something that we will look at in a later video when I participate in a meeting with Lee. So I'm going to hit escape to get out of this menu.
Escape. K.
Going to tab some more.
Invite left paren alt plus I right paren button. I. Mute all left paren alt plus M right paren button. M.
So you saw invite option. You see a mute all option. Again, you can mute all more efficiently with the key combination Alt M.
More options to manage all participants button drop down. Period.
More options to manage all participants. I'm going to hit spacebar.
Space. Menu allow participants to rename themselves checkbox checked.
Now you can allow participants to rename themselves. If you don't want anyone to rename themselves, then you can hit enter here, and that will uncheck this option. I'm going to go down.
Menu play sound when someone joins or leaves checkbox not checked.
You can play a sound when someone new joins the meeting or someone already attending the meeting decides to leave.
Menu enable waiting room checkbox checked.
Enable waiting room. Now this is, again, by default, the security options on Zoom checks this option. So no one is allowed to join your meeting unless you give them permission to. And in order to do that, this is something, again, we'll look at in a future video. When you start these meetings and you know everyone who's going to be attending and you don't want this waiting room to be there, you're going to uncheck this, and then they'll be able to drop in as soon as they click on your link or enter the meeting's credentials. But if you forget to uncheck this box and you're expecting people to join your meeting, and you're like, wait a minute, where are they? They're not showing up. It's just me, and I know that I sent out the correct information. You're going to have to go to the participants list and tab over, just like I did a second ago, to the participants list. But you're going to have to tab over some more to where it says waiting room, and you're going to have to go down to each individual person, tab over to where it says admit, and once you hit that, they'll be able to join the meeting. So that's important to keep in mind. So what I do, especially when I know that it's a meeting that requires a password, that I sent it to specific people, that it wasn't like promoted on social media or platforms such as that, I come in here and I immediately uncheck the waiting room option. Going to go down again.
Menu lock meeting checkbox not checked.
Now you can lock meeting, and this is self-explanatory, but what it means really is once you get everyone in the meeting that's supposed to be there, you can hit this, you can check this option, and it will lock the meeting so no one else can join.
Ask all to unmute.
You can ask everyone to unmute themselves if they're muted.
Menu mute participants upon entry checkbox not checked.
This again is self-explanatory. You can check this box if you want to mute everyone upon entry, and this is what I suggest if you're giving a presentation, if you're in a professional meeting, and you want everything to run smoothly, because people come back with background noises. They have their options set to where they unmute upon entry, and that's not necessarily a good decision for everyone, especially those who aren't always aware of their environments. So this is something to, depending on the situation, you would want to check or uncheck.
Menu allow participants to unmute themselves checkbox checked.
You can allow participants to unmute themselves. And again, this is another option that really, it depends on your situation and who you are expecting to attend your meeting. And situations where you just want a presenter to speak, you would not want to check this option, because people could unmute themselves and ask a question in the middle of the presentation and kind of throw everything off. So it really depends on your situation.
Menu allow participants to rename themselves checkbox. Menu play sound when someone joins or leaves checkbox not checked.
All right, we're going to hit escape to get out of this.
Escape. K.
And that's really the basics of our participants panel. Now let's jump over to the chat feature, and I'm going to close this user panel with, and that's what I call it, the user panel, with the key combination Alt-U.
Alt-U collapsed, leaving
And you heard collapsed, and what I did there is press the control key to stop the speech. Now I'm going to press the key combination Alt H. And what I'm going to do is, and the reason I'm doing these key combinations because it's more efficient to access these features instead of just tabbing all around the interface. So here I'm going to hit the key combination Alt H.
Alt H, expanded, chat.
Expanded chat, so I'm going to tab over.
Meeting information button. To activate, press spacebar.
And again, it dropped me at the back end, so I'm going to shift tab.
Input chat text, type message here, edit, type in text. More chat options button dropped, file button drop down. To call in everyone button drop down, chat text list box. To move to an item, press the arrow keys.
Now you can, and again, it can drop you anywhere. And I don't know why it does this, but this is what happens to me a lot. So from where I am now, I'm going to tab over.
To call in everyone button drop down.
Now this is where you can choose who receives the messages that you text, and you can adjust this however you like. I'm going to tab over.
File button drop down.
This is where you can drop a file in the chat. You have options for Dropbox,
Menu,
I'll show
Microsoft OneDrive,
Microsoft OneDrive,
Google Drive,
Google Drive,
Box,
your
computer.
Straight from your computer. So you can share files with the participants in your meeting through the chat feature, which is a really convenient way of doing things. I'm going to hit the escape key.
Escape, T.
Now I'm going to tab over again.
More chat options button drop down.
More chat options.
Space, T. Everyone publicly and privately, checked. Everyone publicly, unchecked. Host only, unchecked. Participant can chat with no one, unchecked. Everyone publicly and privately, escape,
Okay.
T.
And now we're going to tab over again.
Input chat text, type message here, edit, T.
And this is where you would type a message to whoever you chose to receive the message. And I'll type that here, and then you can see how it populates.
T. A. This is I. D. R. E. F. O. F. V. I. S. O. O. P. T. O. N. A. L. Option enter. From me to everyone, this is Idrees from Vision Optional.
Now let's see if we can find that in the chat list.
Meeting information button. Input chat text, type message. More chat options button drop down.
And what I'm doing now is I'm shift tabbing back to the text list.
File button drop down. To call in everyone button drop down. E. Chat text list box. F.
Okay, here we go.
From me to everyone, 9:04 a.m. This is Idrees from Vision Optional. F.
And that's how you access the chat list. Sometimes the more experience you get with this interface, you'll know when you have moved too far in one direction and you need to press shift tab or tab to go back in the other direction. So right now I'm on the chat list, and I had to shift tab from where I entered the text in order to get back to the chat list. And once you're in that list, you can use your up and down arrow keys to navigate the chat messages that were placed in that box. So this is kind of like the basics continued of using the interface. And the important thing to remember is the key combinations. That's going to get you where you want to go instead of wasting time tabbing all over the place. So we're going to use Alt C. We're going to use Alt H to get to the chat box. We're going to use Alt U to open the participants panel. Then we're going to use our tab and shift tab to move around the different sections within these different features. Now in the next video, we're going to talk about what not to do when hosting a Zoom meeting with a screen reader. I look forward to seeing you then.
A page appears. Subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Anchor FM, and Twitter @Vision Optional.